Okay, so Tahoe. Tahoe has been on here really since I think it was 2017 that I did the Spyder Headlight upgrade. I upgraded to HIDs. One of them failed in 2020, right before I was going on vacation. Yeah, we went to Florida during COVID. Yeah. Anyway, so I went ahead and upgraded those to found some LEDs that would fit. I never did it on the channel because the LEDs were kind of crap. They're just not bright enough. And I know now that Spyder does offer those lights, the same lights that are on here, with factory installed LEDs for the low beam, not the high beam. The way that truck is designed and the way those headlights were designed, you really can't put LEDs in the high beam. Right, there's not enough space, and the way that the bulbs install, it's not sealed if you try and use an aftermarket LED. So really haven't found a way to do that yet. But I'll show you how the lights have held up. They've been on the truck since now 2017, and this truck is in Texas. It's never in the garage because it doesn't fit, and I have too much shit. So the truck's always outside. So I'll show you how they've held up, which, you know, is about as good as factory lights would. It's not too bad, but I still like the lights overall. Oh, so the other thing that I'm going to install is this, and it's not a name on it, but you can see certain writing on it. Yeah. So what this is the Chinese version from Amazon, Chinazon, called the 9 Drive. Now, some of you have probably seen this before. This is a pedal modifier, basically. You know, you've seen all the ads for all the aftermarket, like Pedal Commander, and there's a few others. I think Bully Dog even has one now. And they're all expensive. I mean, I think the cheapest one I've seen is like 295 bucks. This is 50. So I'm going to try it, see how it works. If you have one of these trucks, the drive-by-wire trucks, you know that when you throw your foot down on the floor, it does nothing. And then all of a sudden, whoa! Well, there's a couple reasons for that. One, so that they can meet the government fuel economy requirements. Two, so you won't blow up the rear end, because I don't know if you all know about this, but the GMT 800, 900s, and probably whatever the current one is, they have glass rear ends in the back. So once I do this, I'm probably going to blow up the rear end, because the rear end has been clunking in this truck for 70,000 miles. So I know my time is limited, and when it does go, I'm going to throw a Yukon posi in the back of it. So let's go look at the truck. Okay, it's pretty windy out here. We're about to get a storm, and as you can see, it's already been hit by a West Texas dirt storm. So the rain will be nice to get this off. So here's the deal. This truck I've owned for 12 or 13 years now. It has 169,000 miles on it, and the paint's falling off. Literally. The paint is cracking and falling off the truck, and I'll show you why. There, here, there, back here on the bumpers, and this is why. And no offense, but every truck that I've seen where the white paint is falling off was built there, not in Arlington. So yeah, so this truck was sold brand new here in McKinney, Texas, and not sure why it had to come all the way from Ohio, because as my understanding, this truck was built probably in the last 2 weeks of the 2007 model run, right before hiatus and rolling over the 2008s. And I'm not certain, but I believe starting in 2008, all of the Tahoe and Suburban and Caddy Bourbon and all of that stuff moved exclusively to Arlington, and that plant was repurposed. But I'm not sure if that's true. But anyway, all the trucks I've seen where the white paint's falling off, that right here. So I don't know what the hell they were doing up there. Anyway, the truck is actually in very good condition still. The seats haven't ripped. The console, look at that. It hasn't split yet. The dash, duh, of course, they all do. The rest of the truck is in really pretty good shape. Now, what have I done to it? Well, I've done a couple of little minor things to the interior, like I've got some under dash blue LEDs, and I made a little button console here. But the big changes, of course, are under the hood. Now, you might notice that that doesn't look like that side. I did that pushing Old Blue into the garage. This is, you can't really tell, but this is a really steep driveway. And when the engine blew up, I had to push him in there, and the freaking parking brake locked up. And I was like, what's going on? I kept pushing it, and I realized the truck wasn't moving, and that's what I did. And scraped the paint a little bit, but I bent this thing, did absolutely nothing to Old Blue. So, under the hood. So we have a Volant, or Volant, I call it Volant, that's how we say things in Texas. Cold air intake. We got Taylor cable wires, Summit Racing coils, and of course the DOD is long gone. It has a 6-liter cam, LS3 lifters. It has a milling high volume oil pump. I mean, when the oil's fresh, you're driving down the road at 80 miles an hour, this thing is pumping out 55 pounds. Of course, the ECU was reprogrammed. It does not have a speed limiter on it. Well, it actually does. You have to actually set a parameter in there. So the speed limiter is set at 175 miles an hour. Yeah, no, it won't do that, but it will bury the speedometer, and I have done that, and that was very scary. Yep, on Dallas Tollway. Shh, don't tell anybody, but yeah, I pushed it probably about at least 125. And that was quite scary. Yeah, but anyway, and it's got aftermarket exhaust. It's got little dual tips. It's Gibson catback. Sounds pretty good. I'll fire it up here in just a second. A 6-liter cam really doesn't do much, but give it a little bit more low-end torque. I don't know, with the changes, the reprogramming, I think this thing is probably running, it's factory rated at 320 horsepower. I think it's probably about 345, maybe 350, probably not, probably about 345. But it runs like bat out of hell. It still runs. I mean, these trucks are just, you get rid of the DOD, they're indestructible. They really are. They're wonderful trucks. Okay, again, it's really, really dirty from the mud storm that hit the other night, but so it's kind of hard to see, but we do have some delamination right here and then down here too. So I mean, you would, what is this, 2000, what is that, almost 6 years they've been in here, so you would probably start seeing that with the factory originals when it was outside its entire life in Texas. So yeah, you can see all this here, and well, I can't see it back there. It almost hit the headlight when I did that. But other than that, you know, I really like these lights. I do wish that the little C here, it's just not bright enough for a real daytime running light. So I've got LED, super bright LEDs in my daytime runners right here, and then of course super bright fog lights also. But hopefully somebody at Spyder will kind of take the ball and put some super bright LEDs in there. I mean, they're available. You see them all over the place. I actually have a new brush bar in box sitting under Old Blue right here, and I'm going to replace that. I don't know what I'm going to do about the paint. Truck runs just really good. It's been tuned up. It doesn't need anything except for it's going to need brakes here soon, so I'm going to have to do brakes on it. Did the shocks a couple years ago. This will be fun. When I do this, you know, keep an eye on this because I plan on doing this in a couple weeks. What I'm going to do is I typically use corn gas, E85. I've got several gas stations. We got a ton of E85 gas stations around here, and I mean, it's basically somewhere around 110, 105 to 110 octane depending. Truck runs incredibly well. Very different than it does on regular gas. In fact, it runs better on corn gas than it does on premium. So I know there's people out there, naysayers, oh, you get terrible gas mileage. I get about 1.5 miles to the gallon less in the city than with regular gas, and about the same with premium. So that's a bunch of hogwash. but it does. It runs like a bat out of hell with it. So what I'll do is I will fill the tank up full, and I'll do a punch it chewy without this in, just to see, and I'll do some timing, and because it's got like 5 settings on here. I think maybe it's actually more than that. And so I'll do the basic settings on this thing. We'll see how it works, see if it works. I mean, like I said, the link is below on where I got this on Amazon. It's I think I can't remember right offhand. I'll put what it costs here, but I think it was like $52. So we'll see if it works. I mean, if it does, great. If it doesn't, okay. I still don't want to shell out the cash for a pedal commander. It's a lot of money just to manipulate something electronically that something simple can probably do. All right, up next, let's see, what's next? Oh, that's the last one. So next up will be, I'm going to do the C4 Corvette. If you watched the C4 one, you saw that I have a sponsor coming up for that, and that should be kind of fun. So I'm going to do that, and then it's back to work on Old Blue. And I'm going to work on Old Blue until April, until that week, where I get that freaking Chevelle done. So we'll see how it goes. We'll see if I can do this. All right, y'all take care. It's beer in that refrigerator, and I'm headed that way. Boys, be safe. All right, like, tag, share, do all that fun stuff, and check me out on my Instagram page too. VA Carnut and Instagram.com. I'm on TikTok too, but you can just ignore that.